Hello.
She's back, folks.
It is I. QB3, Trey Lance. Cooper Rush is gone, actually.
Cooper Rush is gone. Dang. What a heartbreak. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the pre-show for the free show. I am Greg, and that is Vianney Moreno in for the recently fired Ashley Pickle.
Yeah.
So.
Rest in peace.
Welcome into the pre-show for the free show. Let's do a quick weekend check. Vianney, how was your weekend?
Weekend was good. We went out to celebrate St. Patrick.
Yeah.
Remembering him.
Is St. Patrick's Day big in the Hispanic community?
Not really, no.
No.
So I bought a necklace that lit up, and I was going to bring it, but I forgot it. So
Tough scene.
Yeah, tough scene.
Tough.
What about you?
Big weekend.
Wait, didn't you guys go to the zoo?
You tell me. We went to the zoo. We went to the zoo.
The zoo.
First of all, price of the brick's gone up going to the zoo.
Oh, isn't everything going up?
Eggs? Yeah. What about eggs? Especially the on spring break week, because Max and Hank just had their spring break, and this is also coming up. This is a big spring break week as well. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of they know what they got. People are flooding the zoo, but we went because we got a family membership, which is the way to roll.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it was a Christmas gift from my mom, which is like an awesome Christmas gift.
Wait, so does that mean you can go like whenever?
Yep, we can go whenever. We go every day if we want. We live at the zoo.
Imagine getting to see a giraffe every single day.
Hank fed a giraffe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. Good deal. He fed a giraffe. We were on the way to the zoo, and me being dorky dad, I was like, all right, everybody tell me, what is the animal you're most excited to see, right? And my wife said, like, I want to see the giraffe. And like Hank was like, I want to see an elephant. And Max, who is 3, was like, cow. And I didn't really have the heart to break it to him.
Yes.
He was, I don't know if he noticed there wasn't a cow once we got there, because he was distracted by the lemurs. He really liked the gorillas.
Aww.
He really thought the gorillas were cool. And the gorillas, to be clear, he's right. Gorillas are cool. But here's the other thing about this.
Gorillas are chill.
Gorillas are chill. Gorillas are chill. Here is the other thing about the, another problem that I'm seeing, and this is now me putting on my old man hat. Okay, I want to be very clear.
Okay,
I'm putting on the old man hat. There are a non-zero number of people who go to the zoo to get lit up. I mean, they are selling beers. Really? Yes.
Like
they'll sell you like a little mixed drink if you want. Like a little margarita or whatever.
Ooh, so you and
No, absolutely not. I'm with my kids.
Okay.
I'm gonna get messed up around my kids. But like that is one of the things I don't know. Again, I don't want to shame people for doing what they do. I also enjoy a beverage from time to time.
Uh-huh.
You think this is coffee?
Okay, guys.
But what is so interesting to me is that it does feel like alcohol has like infiltrated everywhere. It is everywhere now. Like it used to be like, and again, this is old man. I want to be very clear, old man. Mm-hmm. Like when I was in college, you couldn't get beer at college football games, right? Mm-hmm. And now, and we've had segments about this, about how like I feel like college football has become less family friendly because it's A, expensive, and B, often very rowdy, because of like I think an alcohol kind of fuels that.
Yes.
And look, I'm not here to shame it, especially on St. Patrick's Day, a famous drinking holiday. But I just thought that was super interesting. It's like, oh, the zoo. Like people are coming to the zoo and drinking. That's wild to me.
Don't people do that for like Disney?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Disney is a big one.
Disney is a big one too. Like I'll fall into a Disney like rabbit hole on Instagram, and it's people who are like, I'm gonna drink around Epcot.
Yes,
like,
Epcot, like drinking around the world.
I'm like, what? Like that is wild to me.
And then towards the end, they're like, I'm in China.
Right. I'm like, I don't know, man. That's like, because I will,
Drink number 12.
again, I don't want to get on like my high horse here because I do enjoy a beverage, but like, there are like people, especially during the pandemic, were complaining about like Texas's blue laws, which are like you can only buy alcohol during certain times, and like you can't buy liquor at like grocery stores and stuff like that. Whatever. There are real societal reasons why you should not be able to buy alcohol all of the time, all of the places. Like there are real societal, that would be bad for society.
Yes.
If we could all get alcohol all the time, at all times, at all places. That would be bad for society.
That'd be chaos.
That would be bad. Like we would be a worse society because of it. And so it was very jarring to me to be like walking by the lemurs at 10 o'clock in the morning.
It was 10 a.m.?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that changes a lot of things.
And like, now, I don't know if I did not see anybody. Oh, no. It must have been later in the day that I saw somebody with a beverage. But like, because I don't know what the rules are. But like, they were definitely like, they had like, you know, buy a beer here. I'm like, wow, at the zoo with the lemurs. Like the flamingos are right there. They can see what you're doing.
I did see that you guys took a picture on that. I think it's a crocodile, like a statue thing. And that's been there for a long time.
All those statues.
I think I have a picture of myself on that thing.
Oh, yeah. Big winners there at the Dallas Zoo. Good zoo.
Big winners.
Good zoo. Good giraffes. Saw a lion.
Do you have a roaring contest?
A roaring contest? No, Max did, though. Anyway. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Hit the theme, Expo. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show with hoops fever. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the places, or you listen to us in the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. A woman that, when my wife heard that she was going to be producing this week, my wife got very excited because, like, my wife thinks that she's, like, her best friend.
We are.
It's V&A Moreno.
We are best friends. Hey, Jen.
My wife was fired up. She's like, oh, V&A's going to be on? It's like, you know your husband's on, like, every day. She's like, whatever.
Nah.
It's fine.
Nah.
Today is Monday, March 17th, 2025. 255 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Adam Scott. Is that not really? I made that up just to get that reaction from you.
Man.
V&A's watching Severance, and I just get text messages from her randomly. She's like, Adam Scott is so hot.
Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong. Call me a liar.
You are not wrong.
Exactly right.
He's very attractive,
right.
Man.
It's episode 1843. On today's show, folks, we got headlines from across the state, including we will mourn a Texas high school football legend and a couple of big coaching changes from across the state of Texas. In the back half of the show, it is perhaps the most anticipated segment of the entire year, is the third annual Texas Football Today bracket special, bracketology special. We have brought in our chief bracketologist, Mallory Hartley. We've been able to sign her for a third consecutive year, which I'm very excited about. That seems awesome for me. So I'm very excited to get her deep dive on your 2025 March Madness bracket. She will tell you who's going to win, who's going to lose, and all the things in between. coming up here in just a little bit. Do we have first four through the door?
Oh, yes, we do. We have Matt Stepp, of course. BJWB.
Nice.
Lowell Good.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
And then Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
Oh, cool. Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. Let's get to some headlines from across the state of Texas in the high school football ranks. And we must start with, I think, the biggest story across Texas high school football this weekend, which was the passing of a true Texas high school football legend. Kenneth Hall has passed away, according to the first reported by the Houston Chronicle. Kenneth Hall was 89 years old. Ken Hall, known as the Sugarland Express, is, in all seriousness, perhaps the most iconic Texas high school football player of all time. He is someone who is obviously before my time. He played in the 1950s. But there are a few names in Texas high school football that have resonated throughout the years that you just remember their name, even though you never saw them. That they're true legends of the game, true icons of the game, and Ken Hall is on that short list. Ken Hall played for Sugarland, the Gators, back from 1950 to 1953. Sugarland, by the way, merged with another school and became, I think it merged with Missouri City High School and became Fort Bend Dulles. That's what the school is now. But from 1950 to 1953, Ken Hall put together what can only be described as perhaps the finest high school football career in Texas history, and perhaps the finest high school football career in national history. He ran for 11,232 yards in his career. 11,232 yards. Setting the national rushing record. He set that record. Obviously, he graduated in 1953, was his final season. That record stood until 2012. Okay? 1953 to 2012. That national record stood for nearly 60 years.
Wow.
Right? If I'm doing my math right. Yeah. 1953, 47, plus 12. Yeah.
Math is hard.
Nearly 60 years. Until it was broken by a name you've probably heard of. Derrick Henry is who broke that record. When he was playing in Florida, he went on to win the Heisman Trophy, who went on to be an NFL All-Pro. He is, by the way, still 70 plus years later, the state's all-time leading rusher at 11,232 yards.
Wow.
He's the only rusher to ever run for 11,000 yards. There's only two players in Texas high school football history besides Ken Hall who have run for 10,000 yards. Okay? Traylon Shedd and Jonathan Gray. And those are guys who are also kind of talked about in hushed tones. Ken Hall, there's a real argument to being the GOAT. Okay? Furthermore, in 1953, Ken Hall put together one of the finest seasons in Texas high school football history, in which he ran for 4,045 yards, in leading the Gators to a third consecutive Class B regional title, which was at that time that's as far as you could go, was win your regional title. And perhaps most remarkably of that is that he ran, that's still, by the way, the single season state rushing record, 4,045 yards. He accomplished that in 12 games. Okay? So I want you to think about that. We now have unbelievable players who have as many as 16 games, 4 more games, and nobody's beaten his record in 70 years. He averaged 337 yards a game as a senior. Absolutely outrageous.
Jeez.
Including in 1953, he ran for 520 yards against Houston Lutheran. That is still, by the way, like the 11th highest rushing total in a season or in a game. 70 years later, And by the way, he returned a kickoff for a touchdown, a punt for a touchdown, and he had an interception in that game too. He's one of the greatest players in Texas high school football history. His story is kind of interesting. He was recruited very heavily, obviously. He went to go play he signed to play, or I don't know if he even signed at that point. He went to go play for Bear Bryant at Texas A&M. But he never played for the Aggies. Before they all went to Junction, if you want to remember the Junction boys, he was going to be one of them. He ended up stepping away from football and went and got married. He lived out the rest of his days in Fredericksburg. He was a guy who you could just see around Fredericksburg, just being Ken Hall. He's in the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame, the National High School Sports Hall of Fame, and the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. He's the Hall Trophy, which is the most outstanding player at the All-American game, is named after him. He did play in the NFL and the CFL for 34 games as well, but his legacy is in Texas high school football. His legacy is in being arguably the most iconic player in Texas high school football history. Ken Hall is in many ways peerless. And I mentioned this on Twitter that I do think that someday his career rushing record's going to fall. 11,213 yards. Like I said, two guys have come close in Traylon Shedd and in Jonathan Gray. They came kind of close. And I think at some point you're going to have some workhorse running back who leads his team on 4 consecutive deep playoff runs, and just by a sheer number of games, he's going to be able to catch Ken Hall. I think there's a chance that gets caught. I don't think we'll ever see a 4,000-yard rusher in Texas high school football again. It's astonishing stuff.
It's
like to put it in perspective. Let me see if I can find out who the leading rusher in Texas high school football this year was. I should have this somewhere. You are listening to live coverage of me looking this up. So the leading rusher in Texas high school football this year was John Hebert, the outstanding running back at Houston Straight Jesuit, and he was a workhorse. He carried the ball 378 times for Straight Jesuit, and he had 3,500 yards.
Oh, okay.
So 500 more yards, and he would have still, I believe, been behind Ken Hall. The Sugarland Express, Ken Hall, was 89 years old and a Texas high school football icon. Elsewhere across the state of Texas, let's get some other coaching changes. One of them came down last week, written about on TexasFootball.com by our own Matt Stepp. Lockhart has come open. Todd Mabus has stepped down as the head coach at Lockhart. Not to give too much away, but I think that there's a chance that he's going somewhere else. I don't think this is a retirement. I think this is a stepping down and maybe heading somewhere else. But Todd Mabus was there for 7 years there as the head coach there at Lockhart. I joked on Twitter that I have a feeling Lockhart, Texas, the barbecue capital of Texas, will not have a problem getting applicants for this job. Some fringe benefits there is what I'm saying. But keep an eye on that one. Lockhart is now open as Todd Mabus has stepped down after 7 years at the helm of the Lions. Elsewhere, this came down early last week as my computer is freezing up. Things are going great. Burleson Centennial has hired a coach. You may remember that we were keeping an eye on this one after last week, or after it came open. They have after a lengthy search, they have promoted from within their defensive coordinator, Blake Meyer. Blake Meyer has been an assistant coach for Kyle Geller for the last 15 seasons since the beginning of the program. This is a guy who knows this program inside and out. They will promote their defensive coordinator, Blake Meyer, to be the next head coach of the Burleson Centennial. So keep an eye on that. Blake Meyer, the new head coach there at Burleson Centennial. And finally, I want to make sure we bring this up because this was, as my computer continues to freeze up, a really interesting situation developing at Clear Falls, specifically with their quarterback, Kaiden Barker. Now, Kaiden Barker is a name to know from a prospect perspective, a guy that is, I believe, a DCT, a 4-star on TexasFootball.com, and he started his career at Clear Falls. For the past 2 seasons, as my computer is finally now working, for the last 2 seasons, Kaiden Barker has played at Galveston ball. He transferred to Galveston ball as a sophomore and a junior. this was reported by our Greg Powers on TexasFootball.com. He is heading back to Clear Falls. Now he is going to be heading back to Clear Falls there as the three-star quarterback, I should say, heading back to District 24 6A to take over there at Clear Falls. He's already got offers from places like North Texas, Sam Houston, UTEP, and Texas State. He led Galveston Ball to a breakout season at 9-3 last season, threw for 2,500 yards. This is a guy who is a game changer, I think, and could really impact what Clear Falls looks like, and as a result, District 24 6A. So keep an eye on that. Kaiden Barker heading back to Clear Falls to play where he started his career as a freshman. So keep an eye on that. That is all the news that's fit to print around here. You can find everything you need for football across the state of Texas at TexasFootball.com. We are Texas Football Today. We are here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Hey, it's St. Patrick's Day, and if you're feeling lucky, you should go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Did you get that, VNA? Did you understand?
Yes, I did.
Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Get the 2025 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, the Bible of Texas Football, mailed to you before it hits newsstands if you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. But that's only part of the deal. Because if you become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber, you also get to stream literally thousands of live Texas high school events across the state of Texas. Right now, we got baseball, softball cooking, right? Soccer is cooking on TexanLive.com.
Yup.
And then when the football season rolls around, guess what? You get football ball. Literally hundreds and hundreds of live Texas high school football games on your device at TexanLive.com. To become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here in just a moment, bracket time. Our chief bracketologist, Mallory Hartley, will help you fill out your bracket and win your office pool. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
30-yard line, the 20, the 10, touchdown!
Hey DFW residents, get your grocery essentials in minutes, not hours or days, with Wing Drone Delivery. Forget about last-minute trips to the store when you need things like cereal for breakfast before school, medicine for a cold, or snacks for a movie night. Wing's drones get you quick, no-contact delivery in as fast as 15 minutes. Say goodbye to last-minute grocery runs and say hello to more of your valuable time. Sign up today.
Joined out here by Hayden Gunner at Denton High School, man. It's a big day for you. You got your decision coming right now.
After a lot of thinking, with the family talking, stressing out.
Let's see exactly where Malik Hawkins is going to be heading.
First off, I want to start by thanking God. Without him, I wouldn't be anything. I wouldn't be blessed with all these opportunities.
He's got 5 schools he's choosing between. We're about to find out who it's going to be. Got your teammates, coaches, family, friends surrounding you, so you couldn't have a bigger stage right here to announce it on. So without further ado, we're going to go to the man right here, Kobe Foreman. Who's it going to be?
I will be attending.
I'll be committed to the University of Oklahoma.
University of Texas A&M.
Stanford University.
The University of Oklahoma.
Every legend starts with a vision. For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear. Tell the story of Texas football like never before. In 1960, he built something no one had before, a magazine that became the Bible of Texas football. Coaches, players, and fans didn't just read it, they lived by it. His words shaped the game. His vision built a legacy. And his name? It will always be written in the story of Texas football. Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where legends begin.
Back here on Texas Football Today, I am Greg. That is V&A. Of course, football is at the top of mind for us here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, as you can probably imagine. But once a year, we dig into the basketball world because March Madness is upon us, and that means it's time for one of our very favorite segments of the year, the third annual Texas Football Today Bracketology Special.
There's a bump, little nickel dimer up top, foul on, I'd say, Price, and now a technical foul was just given to Tom Izzo. Again, the foul was on Oakland there, so this something that Tom Izzo upset about, though, and they quickly teed him up.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it! Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it! Yeah! Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it!
It's the third annual Texas Football Today Bracketology Special, and we are pleased to be joined by the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Chief Bracketologist, Mallory Hartley. Mallory, thank you for taking some time out of what I know is a busy media schedule for you to help us break down the brackets, because I know you've been in the lab.
Yeah, it's curtain season too.
Yeah,
so I spent all weekend in the lab cooking, and I feel pretty confident about my picks.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing that I think is remarkable about you, and I got to see the process up close and personal this year. I think there's people who go out there and they're just like, oh, I like that mascot, or oh, I've never heard of Bryant. You have been locked in.
Oh yeah.
Putting together mock brackets, putting together games that are never going to happen, just like in your mind, to figure out exactly who the best college basketball teams are. And I think that people don't understand the grind that you've been on. You have been in the kitchen cooking it up.
I actually created every single bracket.
Every possible bracket.
And
this was the one you landed on.
And this is the one that I landed on, that I felt the most confident about. Every single bracket. Every possible outcome.
So there's a just to be clear, that means that you had a bracket where UMC Wilmington wins the NCAA tournament, but you looked at all those and you said, you know what, this is the one for me.
And Alabama State.
We'll get to them in a moment. So let's first and foremost kind of talk through the big picture stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk about favorites, okay, to win it all. When you are putting together your office pool, okay, we don't condone gambling here. When you're putting together your office pool for funsies,
right?
Who are the teams that you want people to say, to put in that middle square, to be like, this is the team that could win the national championship? Because it feels like a wide open tournament to me as a novice.
It does. I think it is truly a wide open tournament. I think that even the 1 seeds, the 2 seeds, the 3 seeds, I think all of them really have shown a little bit of weakness, especially in the big conference tournaments that happened. Michigan State, for example, I think we have some weaknesses. We showed that at the Big Ten tournament. I think Auburn has shown some weaknesses. They showed that in the SEC tournament. I think Duke, without Cooper Flagg, that could be a potential.
What's his status?
Capitalize on that. What's the status there? But ultimately, I came down to one champion.
One? Like you know who's going to win the NCAA tournament.
I sure do.
Are you at liberty to reveal it?
I am. Wow. And it took me a long time. I mean, I had the drawing board up.
Yeah,
I had the expo marker. I actually came up here to the office and used all of those whiteboards over there because I just didn't have enough space in my lab at home.
It was a mess when I walked in this morning.
Yeah, I know. My hair was crazy. I had the lab coat on and everything, but I ultimately came to the decision that the Florida Gators are going to be national champions.
The Florida Gators.
This year. Yeah. Specifically, they're going to play Houston.
Okay.
Beat Houston in the national championship.
What about Florida stands out to you? Why were they the right team? How much of it is that they come out of the SEC, which got everybody in the tournament?
I think that has a lot to do with it. I think if you take a look at their schedule, they have one of the toughest strengths of schedules in the entire tournament, and they kind of flew through it with grace. And I think that they're peaking at the right time. And if you're hot and you're peaking at the right time at this time of year, you're going to make a deep run and you're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. There's a couple of other teams that I'd like to talk about, because I think there's going to be a lot of talk about like the 1 seeds, right? Duke, Houston, Auburn,
Florida.
And Florida are the 4 1 seeds. I want to hear who are the non-1 seeds that you could see winning the tournament. You know, I don't even want to categorize. I want to get to sleepers in a moment, but teams that you look at, you're like, you know, they don't have the 1 next to their name, but that's the team that could lift the whatever it's called trophy.
So, should I just reveal my Final Four?
Sure,
I don't have all 1 seeds in my Final Four.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I have Michigan State.
Okay, Michigan State coming
out of the South.
So at some point somebody would beat Auburn.
Right.
Okay,
right. I have Michigan State beating Auburn actually in the Elite
got
Eight. I've got Florida obviously coming out of the West.
Absolutely.
Houston coming out of the Midwest. And I have Alabama coming out of the East.
Okay, the 2 seed Alabama.
Yeah, they've been battle tested. I mean, they kind of, just like with Auburn, the SEC, they've been you know, a little shaky here and there. Obviously, they have some weaknesses, but I think that they've looked pretty good. They have a couple of like really good quad 1 wins, and I kind of think that Duke is a little vulnerable. I think Cooper Flagg is expected to be back for the tournament, first game of the tournament, because I know he didn't play in the ACC, their last ACC game.
Yes.
But to me, if he's hurt right now, and this is kind of where they need him most, I think it's possible that he could get hurt again. And I think that Alabama could potentially expose that weakness.
Okay. It's Mallory Hartley, our chief bracketologist, breaking down the 2025 NCAA tournament brackets. There's a couple of teams I want to ask you. Let's focus on the Texas teams here for a moment, because there's obviously a number of Texas teams here. Is there a Texas team? Okay, Houston, obviously. Houston exceptional, very, very good. Their defense has been unbelievable. They're going to keep them in any game. They have a legit chance to win the NCAA tournament. Of the other Texas teams, and there's a variety of them.
Texas Tech.
Texas A&M. Baylor's in there. Texas is in a play-in game.
Yep. Which is a fantastic playing game, by the way. Xavier. Texas and Xavier. That's going to be a fun one to watch on Wednesday.
Let me ask you, is there a Texas team besides Houston that you really like? Or, I'll put it on the other side, is there a Texas team in the tournament that you're worried about, that you want to put maybe on like upset watch?
I think Texas Tech is really good. I like Texas Tech. And it's funny because I think, to answer your question, I think Tech could be the answer to both of those questions. I think they looked really strong in the regular season. They lost a little early to Arizona in the Big 12 championship or Big 12 tournament. But I also think Grant McCasland, I think he's a phenomenal coach. I think they got a couple of really, like Toppin is one of their transfers who's really shined this season. And I think if he gets cooking, I really like Tech to other than Houston, I like Tech to make it a little bit further than the rest of the Texas teams.
Okay, so this is the time of year where we love the sleeper. We love teams that are flying under the radar. Give me a team or a couple of teams that maybe you've got springing first round upsets, teams that you've got that you think, hey, this is not maybe necessarily a brand name, but this is a team that I like to maybe spring an upset and be that Cinderella story.
High Point.
High Point?
I picked High Point over Purdue in the first round.
Wow, more like Purdue.
Purdue. Always Purdue.
Okay. How much of that is the fact that you're wearing a Michigan State shirt?
None of it. I don't have a problem with Purdue.
No, it sounds like it.
Or Purdue. We'll just call them Purdue for now. No, I don't have a problem with Purdue. This is not personal.
Okay.
It's not personal, it's pedigree. Get it?
Oh, I like that.
Do you like that? Do you like that? Yeah, it's pedigree. I mean, I don't think, other than last year, yes, I know they played in a national championship game and they lost. They played pretty well with Zach Edey, but I think in recent history, the past couple of years, Purdue does not typically perform well in the first round of the tournament.
Okay.
Like, do you remember when they were a 4 seed the last time and they lost to North Texas in the first round of the NCAA tournament back in 2021?
What a pull, but that's why you're chief bracketologist. I didn't remember that.
Wow.
You're welcome. So, yeah, I like that one. Let me look at another one, because then I want to ask you about some upsets, because I know that...
So there's some teams I'm big on this tournament.
I know. Did I pick another upset?
Oh, my gosh. Did you go chalk?
No, there's no way. I definitely picked one more upset here. I just gotta find it.
See, also you printed it out like I'm sorry, you've got it like normal horizontal fashion, which is wild to me.
I should have its own camera.
Yeah, this is the bracket, by the way. Go on.
I picked Drake over Missouri.
That hurts me personally, but I understand it.
Yeah.
Drake worries me. As a Mizzou, so I'm a Mizzou grad. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah.
Mizzou's back in the tournament. Been a remarkable story, turning things around because they did not win an SEC game last year, and now they're a 6 seed. They're playing Drake.
Greatest turnaround story.
Drake is 30-3.
Yeah.
Drake. Also, if you want to talk about styles making fights, Drake plays extremely slow. And Mizzou likes to get out and run, and so if they dictate the pace, but yeah, I'm worried about Drake. I'm worried about every game for Mizzou because they don't have a great pedigree either.
No, they don't. And so I think you convinced me this morning that Drake was my. All
right, there's
upset that I like.
A couple of other teams. So before we get into bits, I do like McNeese State. I like McNeese State a lot.
Really?
That's a team that I'm into.
Okay.
Yeah, keep an eye on
Texas
McNeese
team.
State. Yeah, it's Louisiana team.
Are they not in Texas?
Yeah, no. McNeese State is not in Texas.
No.
Close enough.
Yeah. Local.
Oh, well.
Here's the other thing.
Shows you how much I know.
There's two teams. There's two teams that I want to spotlight for different reasons. One of them is a 15 seed. Okay, and now look, 15 seeds don't have a great history in this tournament.
But it has happened 11 times.
But I'm into Omaha, and I'll tell you why. I want you guys to look up Omaha. And specifically, their number one fans, the Outrunners. And you're probably thinking, who are the Outrunners? Great question. They're an AEW tag team that is it's 2 guys, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. And they have adopted Omaha as their number one team. And look at them. They are fond of saying, nothing succeeds like success.
Nothing succeeds like success. And the secret to winning a game is beating the other
opponent.
team.
Beating your opponent.
Which is great advice.
Omaha,
it's true.
Keep an eye out, St. John's. I think you're on notice. The other one, and this is interesting to me, and we texted back and forth this weekend while you were in the lab. You took some time to take my text. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I have watched one college basketball game stem to stern this year. And it was on Saturday, and it was the SWAC championship. And I'm just here to tell you that Alabama State's the best team I've seen this year. Alabama State, the Hornets of Alabama State. And it would not surprise me. I know a 16 seed has never won the NCAA tournament, right? That's true?
It's true.
Okay.
And but they have upset a 1 seed before, but it's only happened once. Maybe twice now. Twice.
I am here to tell you, I think Alabama State might go all the way. That's the best college basketball team I've seen this year.
So
they were incredible in the one college basketball game I've seen this year.
And I don't completely disagree with you.
Thank you.
However,
okay.
They are in a play-in game against St. Francis. They have to get into the tournament first.
That's tough. But you know why?
Which is tough.
It's because the committee's got it. It's because the committees have it out for my Hornets.
Right, correct. But I'm saying that's doable.
They're scared. Like, this is a brand name thing. North Carolina got in because they're a brand name, right? They put Alabama State in a play-in because they want a brand name. I'm here to tell you the Hornets are for real.
So they got to get into the tournament first.
No problem.
But then they get the toughest draw as a 16 seed in the tournament, playing against the number 1 overall seed in Auburn.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay. I hear you.
Right. And I'm just trying to check you here, right? Like to make sure that you really feel this way about this team.
I do, because here's the other thing, is like you are not keeping in mind the chip on the shoulder that these Alabama State players are going to play with against Auburn. Because chances are these guys, the good players that they have, whose names I forget at the moment, they're
just so good. You just the
thing
they
is
all play so well together.
They're such a team.
It's a unit.
It's a unit. There's not one standout.
No.
But Alabama State is a team that when they play Auburn, also from Alabama, they're gonna play with that chip on their shoulder and be like, "Oh, Bruce Pearl, you didn't recruit me? Well, guess what? I'm about to drop a 60 burger on you."
Yeah. No, I think I agree with you.
Thank you.
I did not take them to win it all.
Okay, you took Florida.
Yes, but I can see them being close second.
Okay.
So completely understand that.
Okay. How do you and then finally, how do we feel about Sparty? I know you've got him in the Final Four.
Oh,
where are you at?
I don't want you to talk to me about this.
Where are we at? By the way, 9 o'clock Friday night. Did they not even consider the fact that we have a show on Thursday and we need to have the Mallory Hartley cam?
They don't like the Big Ten. Just kidding. They put a ton of teams in the Big Ten. I'm just kidding. I am feeling okay.
Okay.
This is the time of year that I get very stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's solely because of Michigan State basketball.
Yeah.
Nothing else in my life stresses me out other than Michigan State basketball.
Sure.
I think we got a good draw.
The number one stressor in your life is Tom Izzo and his well-being.
Yes.
Got it.
Oh, of course. Gosh, yes. I think we got a good draw.
Okay.
Realistically, I think the South region there is a clear path there, I think, to the Final Four. I think we got the bottom half of the region, which I like a lot more than the top half.
Yes.
I think that there is a path.
Okay.
When we're shooting well and our 3-point shooting is on, everything's clicking and we're unstoppable. However, we are the worst 3-point shooting team in the Big Ten. And we still won the Big Ten. So if we can get that going, we can make a run.
Okay.
I think.
So what are your plans for Friday night then? I'm not asking you out. I'm asking you what's going on with
I'll be locked into the game.
Are you going to
at 9 p.m.
I understand that. Like, are you somebody who's going to sit at home quietly, like stewing
in the dark?
In the dark?
Yes.
That's what you do?
Well, here's the thing.
Or are you going to watch with your dad, who's a Michigan State alum, if you didn't know?
Can't watch it with my dad.
You can't watch it with your dad?
Stresses me out.
Okay.
No.
That stresses you out?
Yeah. He's worse than I am.
Okay.
I mean, you saw me in the office watching the...
Yeah, I did.
I think every daughter gets stressed out by their dad watching their favorite.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Interesting.
Team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like you and the Cowboys, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I'll be watching. I'll be locked in.
Are you gonna be alone? You're gonna watch it like alone?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dark.
I'm gonna call you at halftime just to check in with you.
Okay.
And just see where you at headspace wise.
Depending on the score.
Who do they play in the first round?
Bryant. Have you heard of Bryant?
Quick. What state are they in?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's find out together.
Oh goodness.
I know that they're the Bulldogs.
Bryant University is in Smithfield, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. You learn something new every single day.
They're the Bryant University Bulldogs.
I actually don't know what the line is. The opening line is for this game.
Well, they better win.
Yeah, they should.
Because I've got Alabama State versus Michigan State in my in my championship game. I presume they could meet in.
Well, that's not possible.
Okay, the Final Four.
They could meet in the Final Four.
That's what I'm saying. Final Four. When Alabama.
Or I mean the Elite Eight because they're from the same.
I have paid attention to the bracket. That's why she's our chief bracketologist, Mallory Hartley. Mallory, thank you for tuning in. We will continue to get updates on the NCAA tournament from you.
Will you re-sign me for next year for the 4th annual, or is that depending on how well I do?
A lot of this depends on how well
this
you do.
bracket does.
Yeah, exactly right. Like when High Point wins when Alabama State gets in there and they win it, then it's like, oh yeah.
What if it's Alabama State versus High Point?
I mean, ratings.
I think CBS needs to hire us at
ratings,
that point.
At that point, we're coming for you.
Correct.
Jay Billis. Let's go over to VNA Moreno for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts. What's going on, V?
Hey, V.
What it do, guys? First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me as QB3. I will be.
Now you're QB2 now.
I'm sorry. Are you asking? Are you thanking us for your employment, or like what's going on here?
You know you're QB2 now.
Well, Cooper Rush is gone, so I'm QB2.
She's bracketology now.
Whatever.
Miss bracketology.
But yeah, to our fellow audience, I will be here for the next month.
Yeah. Pickle quit.
Yeah, she quit.
Anything else from anybody else?
I Oh, Matt Stepp was wondering if you went to the Fort Worth or Dallas Zoo.
I went to the Dallas Zoo. It's a good zoo.
Have you been to the Fort Worth Zoo?
I have been to the Fort Worth Zoo.
I like the Fort Worth Zoo.
Yeah, good zoo.
I like the Dallas Zoo too, but
go to the zoo.
I think the Fort Worth Zoo is better.
Wow, what a hot take.
That is a hot take.
That's going to do it for us.
Go to the zoo.
Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. On behalf of Chief Bracketologist Mallory Hartley and Chief Button Pusher Vianney Moreno.
Perfect.
Button Pusher.
I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.